every person in pain, every person who's lonely in a nursing home, every person who has a cross to carry has to know there's power in that cross. I have complaints with many of our pastors, with some of our bishops and our priests. You know, we are in one of the most almost cataclysmically perilous junctures in history. And we are not really leading the people spiritually as we should. The country hinges on a pivotal presidential election. God bless many of the good bishops. They've done a good job. They've issued an excellent pastoral letter, as the National Conference of Bishops did. Many of the diocesan bishops have issued their own pastoral letter. This weekend, Bishop in Scranton, Pennsylvania, Bishop Martino, he's wrote a letter. It's going to be read at every Mass in every parish. And God bless them for doing that. They're good leaders. They're good pastors. We have to do so much, though. I would be making sure every elderly person, every sick person, every person in pain, every person who's lonely in a nursing home, every person who has a cross to carry has to know there's power in that cross. There's power to change hearts and change minds. There's power to save souls. And we are negligent in our pastoral duty if we are not encouraging them in that way. If we could harness the potential power of all this sacrifice and suffering, we could change the world. And we have to do it because the world needs changing. Cross of Christ, that's the power to save souls. And there is no power outside of that. The degree of charity we achieve in this life will determine the degree of glory we have for all eternity. That's a theological statement there. The degree of charity you attain in this life will determine the degree of glory you will have in heaven for all eternity. And I can simplify that: charity equals sacrifice. How much you're willing to sacrifice, how much you're willing really to suffer for other people. And you don't have to go looking for it, so don't. Believe me, it'll find you. There's plenty of things that'll make your day, so to speak. Could be physical, could be little things, could be big things. I marvel at the suffering some people had in the middle of the night last night. I didn't sleep a wink last night. I was up and I happened to check my emails at 3 a.m. and it was I had one from my classmate that I went all through my studies with. He's a very fine priest in Mexico now, and his dad is suffering from a bad form of cancer. I remember his mom and dad were at my ordination, along with my mother. And now he's suffering so much. He's on the cross with Jesus. As like Padre Pio, St. Pio, used to say, Jesus gives the biggest share of his cross to his best friends. Why? Because to do so is to give a bigger share of redemptive power. You see, the power to save souls. That's the greatest power you could have in this life. It's not the power of money. It's not the power of politics. It's not the power of government. Not the power of anything else. The power of the cross. See, that's the only thing that in the end saves souls. That's why Jesus suffered and died and rose on the third day, the salvation of souls. And we have a part to play in that.